What's happening, everyone? Nicky Hawkins here, West Ham Fan TV, back once again with another video. Now, this is the Musings, the chance for you to get involved on Twitter and interact with us and be involved in this video. This is a show where I pick you 3 questions, I'll give my little opinion, and you give your opinion straight after, and I'll read them off. Question number 1, protests at the gate last Sunday before the loss to Brentford drew quite poor numbers. Do you still feel the same about GSB as pre-pandemic? Now, look, when you look at West Ham, pre-pandemic to post-pandemic, it's no secret that before the pandemic, protests were building quite high numbers, results were poor, we were directionless more or less, and pressure on GSB were building quite high. Since the pandemic, and a lot of reporters and journalists have directly associated this with the supporters not being there, which is a load of nonsense. The results have picked up. David Moyes has worked his magic. You know, you got to remember, pre-pandemic, David Moyes was in his infancy as the West Ham boss for a second time. He's had a little while to bed in, got the squad belief and everything going on around the club. Tip-top condition. Do I still feel the same about GSB out? Yes, I do. They've got a long way to go. One swallow does not a summer make, as the old saying goes. I feel that last season, getting into UEFA Cup, finishing 6th in the league, was in spite of them and not because of them. I don't think they've invested properly in the squad. They haven't given Moisey, well, I don't know, because it's a strange one, because, you know, some people say Moisey has been backed and some people say he hasn't, and it's his choice and all that. But I don't believe that for a second. There ain't a football manager around there. You know, he would identify players, and it's down to the board to then fund them. Now, the fact we sold Haller a little over how long ago was it now? A year? More than a year. Was it in January? When did we sell Haller? January? January. It wasn't quite a year yet. And haven't replaced him as a centre forward. Now, Mickey's come in and do a fine job, but you know, you need someone in backup, as we saw Sunday. If they're not quite on their game, or if he gets injured, which he inevitably will, who do we have to replace him? Nobody really. So you've got to think about that. Was it Moyes' choice? Was it the board's choice? Now, I'll swing more towards the board, because there ain't a manager on the planet that ain't gonna want to replace a centre forward if they send a centre forward. There ain't a manager on the planet. He's going to want a backup. I've just had enough of them, to be quite honest. We had the seat from 5-6 years ago. They never recover in my eyes. That's my, and I think a lot of people feel the same. I think we're still a majority. I might be wrong. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. But still, I feel that GSB out is still a majority, and GSB in a minority. Now, they don't help themselves when David Gold is tweeting out tweets like somebody put a GSB in sticker on a lamppost, and he's tweeted out things like "whoever you are, thank you" and all that sort of thing. He just riles the situation, and I just look. They've got a bit better in the last few years, but I think that the place is run like a circus at times. I really do. Like, and you shouldn't get your owners, when they know that this feeling is so strong, riling them up. Now, I don't know whether they got a little bit more confident because not many people turned up at a protest. But I think, me personally, I think the protest was the wrong time. Just because we are playing well, and I don't think you should relent pressure off of GSB and all that sort of thing because we're playing well. I think they're the time to protest. But a lot of people have been so lot like, what's the word? A lot of people have been so frustrated with being locked up for so long that it's a lot to ask them to start protesting and spending a whole day protesting when for some of them it might have been the first time out, it might have been, you know, a chance to get out and enjoy themselves and all of this sort of thing. As life returns back to normal and pandemic and a lot of people, like, I work in sort of like an industry that's impacted and affected by the pandemic. A lot of people are just not that comfortable in crowds just yet. We've had it drilled into us in the last 18 months that, you know, crowds are bad and all of that sort of thing, and you know, some people are just not, they just don't want to like crowd themselves when it's unnecessary, if that makes sense. Fully respect the guys that went and done the protest, but I think the timing needs to be a bit better for these protests. But let's see what you guys think. Do you still feel the same about GSB pre-pandemic? So Miss Hammerette says, yes, 100% feel the same. Proven liars, in my opinion, and still don't trust them. We're where we at because of due to Moyes, the backroom staff and the players. Robbie says, yes, nothing has nor will it change. Finn _Gilmore says, don't trust GSB, and in a perfect world we'll not want them gone. However, the shit show that was PAI, which is another reason. Conspiracy theories about that, has shown that there's plenty of other bad owners that could come in. I just can't see the protests affecting Sully in any way whatsoever until 2023. Dylan Bregman says, yes, sold our ground without proper plan to develop a new one, consistently lied about the new ground and our badge, etc. In my opinion, it is Moyes that has changed everything up with the team, not the board. And Skev303 says, they have made some steps in the right direction. We have to give them their dues, but I won't forgive their lies, told RE the Olympic Stadium, and they have a massive improvement to make before I do. Thank you very much for that. There weren't many answers on this one this week. I don't know whether people just don't want to get involved, but whatever. Question 2. One win in 4 at home in the season in the league. Is this a cause for concern? No, I don't think so. We're playing well. We're going to have them games. Brentford was a ropey old game, to be quite honest with you. It was a tough one to take last minute and all of that sort of thing. But we did do that to Leeds. Yeah, we've got some tough teams coming up, but we've got a good team. And like we've been in good form for the last sort of year and a half. So you're going to have those dips in form sometimes. As long as it's a small dip and we get back up, then I've got no problem with that. Jimmy PJ20 says, 1 point from Palace and Brentford at home isn't good enough. Personally, never fancy us against Palace, but it's the first week of October. Too early to be worried. I agree with that. Gills says, we drew to Palace at home last season and to United too. I think it's disappointing but understandable when you look at the fixture congestion, etc. We will win more games when we lose at the home in this season. Yeah, but the problem is as well, we've got Europe on the go, which is fantastic. And we'll speak about that on Friday Night Pint, about the ticket situation and all that sort of thing. But yeah, it's we're going to find it tough at points this season. It's no secret that we're going to struggle with congestion and all that. We've still got, we've got Vlasic and Krau and all them guys in, but you know, in terms of that, like taking on 2, 3, 4 competitions this season, with the travelling and all that, we've still got a relatively small squad, and some players just can't be replaced. So we are gonna struggle a little bit on the back of that. That's 2 losses in 2 after the European competition, but we're working well in Europe. But I'll take that, to be quite honest with you. If we have a good European run, even though I can't get a bloody ticket, I'll take that all day long. And question 3, Mo Salah is being touted as the best in the world at the moment with 6 goals and 3 assists in 6 games this season. Mikel Antonio has 5 goals and 3 assists in the same amount of games and has barely been mentioned. Do you think pundits are biased based on the club? Yeah, I do. Look, there is no way I'm going to compare Mickey to Mo Salah. Mo Salah's he is a world-class player. He's been doing it consistently, and I think that's that's a trait of a world-class player is just keep on doing it and doing it and doing it season after season. And Mo does do that. All right, he dipped a little bit last season, but who at Liverpool didn't dip? But his dip is probably scoring more goals than most people in the league. But I'm sick of it, to be quite honest with you. I'm sick of the big media, big 6-team bias, but it's what sells their product. If you've got, the old adage in business is you put your best foot forward, and they obviously think that these top six are their best their best foot. Like when you watch a Monday night game, say for instance West Ham are playing Brentford for example, the pre-match build-up and all of that sort of thing. They don't build up the West Ham Brentford game or anything like that, or even speak about them in depth. But what they do is they go over and start analysing Man United, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, and speaking about them guys for 45 minutes. Then go have a game and then speak about them guys after they spoke about West Ham for 10 minutes for another hour afterwards. Gary Neville and they get their video screens out and start dissecting everything. And what that is just the league trying to attract them viewers. I'm sick of it, to be quite honest. We all pay our Sky subscriptions. Now I'm not saying that they have to talk about everyone in the same light. You like get the same amount of airtime, but it's a bit ridiculous that at the amount it goes. And Mo Salah he probably is one of the best in the world at the moment, Mo Salah. But Mickey deserves accolades as well. I mean, I don't even think Mickey got. Did he? No, I don't think he got nominated for Player of the September. I don't even think Mo Salah did. To be quite honest with you, Ronaldo did, and he's the one that won it. But of course, putting your best foot forward again. But yeah, I don't think these players get enough credit. To be quite honest with you, they work hard and they work as hard as anyone. And I think you talk about big clubs. Like people say, West Ham are not a big club, but I think we're one of 8 that have never played below the second division of football. One of 8 in the country. I think Mickey deserves more credit, to be quite honest with you. I don't know what I'm rambling on about, but let's see what you guys think. Pundits are biased, but I think comparing Salah to Antonio, I think when comparing Salah and Antonio, everyone can see that Salah is a far better player and could probably get into any side of the world. Not sure Antonio would regularly start for any of the 5 teams that finished above us last season. Dave Skev 303 says, happy with the less buzz about West Ham, let's fly under the radar and do our thing. Kenny Candid is very candid and he says, of course they are. Gil says, usually Rice is the only one that they mention, though it's only ever to link in with United or Chelsea. Liverpool are a huge club and Salah one of the most marketable assets in football and one of the real few superstars, so it makes sense to them. Donovan says, I don't think Antonio has been ignored really. If anything, him and Rice are the only 2 players who do get a mention. Souček too, I guess. Bono has been quality for a few years now and has never been spoken about outside West Ham circles. I think centre-backs do get that though, to be quite honest with you. They get a little bit of a rough ride. And Miss Hammerette says, 100% biased. Pundits and mainstream media are to blame for the pig 6 just because Salah plays for one of them. In their opinion, he gets the credit and glory, whereas other players in other clubs, such as Antonio, where absolute credit and appreciation should be shown, doesn't. So there you go. There's the 3 questions for you. Not a lot of answers this week. Getting more involved next week. It's probably because we've had to abandon the last few videos for various reasons. But we are back. Go and, if you're new around here, subscribe. We're on the road to 60. We're very close now. Very close. And then you have a visual representation. Our subscribers will be able to fill the London Stadium. So yeah, it's magnificent. Thank you so much for subscribing to us and watching our videos and that. It means the world to us, and we're growing this day by day. Hopefully we can continue to grow. We've got a lot of plans down the line after Christmas. We've been working tirelessly on a few things, And yeah, like, stick around because it's gonna be big, to be quite honest with you. Europe, we didn't get tickets to Genk, so we'll be doing something in terms of watch along. I'm very disappointed with that, by the way, but we'll mention that on Friday Night Pint. Do check out Friday Night Pint. We'll be building up towards the Everton game, and then we'll be over in all the fan cams and everything else from Goodison Park, live from Goodison Park. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. One thing left to say: come on, you Irons.